What's up, guys? I wanted to do a quick spoiler-free episode of Damien Ruins Horror Movies because I watched Ma last night, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized I can't. Anything I say about this movie is going to be a spoiler, at least as far as based on like how I saw it, because I was aware of this movie. And if you have not seen it, go ahead and turn this off. Go to Tubi, because that's where you can watch it. Go watch it, come back, and then we can discuss it together, together separately. All I knew about this movie was there was a lady named Ma, and it was marketed as a horror movie, so like obviously she's bad. That's all I knew. And I was right. I had no idea what the premise was. So I watched it, I liked it, I recommend it. But it's not, I'm gonna get all picky with you now. It's not really a horror movie though. It's a psychological thriller. And when I say that, that doesn't mean it's not good. It doesn't mean it's not scary. In fact, it means it's more scary. So I'm not afraid of a kid crawling out of a lake after he drowned 30 years ago and putting on a hockey mask and showing up at my front door. That doesn't scare me. It's people like Ma. That is scary. This is more like a single white female, hand that rocks the cradle, fatal attraction. That's the kind of stuff that can really happen, and it's scary. So Ma, Sue Ann, is played by Octavia Spencer, and Juliette Lewis is in this. She plays like the main girl, Maggie's mom, which it always saddens me. That's so, you don't really notice yourself get older until you see people who were like, you know, young 20-something rebels. Now they're playing parent. Like when I see Winona Ryder on Stranger Things, it's like, damn, I'm old. I remember when she was hot. And I felt that way watching Juliette Lewis play Maggie's mom. And then her love interest is Farkle from Girl Meets World. Don't ask me why I know that. Oh, and just to be clear, that's Maggie and Farkle are together, not Farkle and Juliette Lewis. I think I said that kind of funny. But it's about this woman who seems lonely. She's a veterinarian. These kids ask her to buy them beer. So she's like, all right.
There's my girl. Okay. They didn't have whatever Fireball is, so I got Aftershock. Man said it's the same thing. This never happened, okay?
And then all of a sudden, she's inviting them over to her house to hang out in her basement to come party. Pretty soon, she's got like the whole school coming over to her house to party. But it turns out she's not the cool lady. She's got a screw loose because something happened to her in high school, and she's never recovered from it. And it's really weird because like all the adults in this film went to high school together. But somehow, they all live in this town. They went to high school together. But none of them, other than like the sheriff guy or whatever, Farkle's dad, he's seeing a girl that he went to high school with. And other than that, I mean, Juliette Lewis has just moved to California and come back after failing in Hollywood. So like they haven't seen each other. It makes sense that they haven't seen each other in a while because she's been out of state. But everybody else, like, Ma's been here the whole time. And when he sees her, he's like, oh, wow, long time no see. Haven't seen you since high school. It's like, how? I mean, I guess I don't know. It's presented as a small town. So, like, because I just ran into somebody I went to high school with Saturday. And I live in I don't even live that close to my high school. I live in the same city. But after a while, the kids start noticing that Ma's kind of weird. She's a little clingy. Like, she's trying to get the kids to party every night. She, like, shows up at the schools, like, I got beer. She's leaving, like, boxes of alcohol by their cars and shit. She's like, hey, come over and hang out. And when they're like, you know what? I got homework. I mean, they could just be like, hey, man, I'm hungover. I drank hard last night, and I went to school this morning. I want to go home and go to bed. To me, that's acceptable. But they're like, no, I got to do my homework. I think I got a big test on Thursday. And she's like, oh, what are you, a loser? You going to go do your schoolwork instead of party? This is an adult talking to high school kids. They're like 16, so they're like sophomores. I mean, it's bad enough. Like they shouldn't be drinking anyway. And one of the Farkle's dads, the sheriff or whatever. So, and that's kind of the frustrating thing about this movie is that at no point whatsoever does Farkle, no matter how in over their heads they get, Farkle never goes to a dad and is like, hey, Dad, you went to school with, like, he doesn't connect any dots and doesn't realize that if he wanted to bail himself out of this situation, he could do it like that. It's not even a phone call. It's just like, oh, hey, Dad, guess what? It's just one conversation over dinner and the whole thing's over. But no, he doesn't do it. So now, I don't think I've given too many spoilers away yet. So at this point, spoilers. The kids party in the basement. They're not allowed to go upstairs because that's Ma's world. She doesn't want anybody upstairs, which sounds a little suspicious.
Okay, oh, and nobody go upstairs. It's my world, and right now it's a mess. So you guys are free to do whatever you want to do down here, but, you know.
Maggie and her friend Haley, they got to go to the bathroom, so they go up there, and they hear, like, there's somebody else there besides Ma, and they can hear Ma, like, beating the person. They don't know who it is. So later on, they're missing, like, Haley's missing, like, her grandma's ring, and Maggie's missing her earrings that were her mom's. And, like, the last time they had those things were at when they partied in the basement. Because also, like, Ma's, like, date rape drugging them, it appears. So they decide, hey, let's ditch school, and we're going to go sneak into her house and get our stuff back, which is a weird idea. Because the house it's 2 floors and a basement. So it's like, you're going to find a ring in that house? You don't even know where to look. You're going to find some pair of earrings? It's not like you're looking for your bike or your skateboard. It's like you're looking for something like the size of a quarter. I'm going to go. So, and the scariest, I don't know if it's scary, but it's like, I don't know, that feeling of impending doom in movies like this. And it happens a lot. And it just fills me with like this dread where it's like, oh, I hate it. It actually wasn't that bad in this movie. In other movies, though, it's every other movie I've seen it done, like Rear Window, Summer of '84. There's a bunch. But anyway, they sneak into her house when she's not home. And for me, I get such anxiety when I watch that in films where I'm just like, oh my God, she's going to go home. And it shows her like leaving work and stuff, and you're like, get out of there, because they're so stupid. You have cell phones, they're the technology generation. Why didn't you have Farkle hang out at the veterinarian's office where she works, and then if she's leaving, he could just call you up, say, hey, get out of the house, she's on her way. They would have more than enough time to get out of there. Which is also funny about Ma's job, is because every time they show her there, her boss is bitching at her to get off her phone and get back to work. It's hilarious because like she doesn't do any work the whole movie.
Macy, we'll get your file. Why aren't you answering the phone? Sorry, I'm fighting a migraine.
Well, go get some horse tranquilizer. I don't care. Do your job.
She's like this weird computer whiz. Like somehow she figured out their names and all their social media accounts and stuff. Like just from buying them beer. They didn't say like, hey, I'm Farkle and I'm Maggie and they didn't introduce themselves at all. And somehow she's just like, which I guess later she figured out. I mean, she could have figured out that Farkle was the cop's kid and she knows exactly who the cops is because she called the cops on them originally. That's how she got them to the basement because they used to hang out at this other place. I forget the name. So she called the cops. So it's like, hey, come hang out at my house. You don't got to worry about any cops because I won't call them. Oh, and while they're in the house, they find in her room, there's like this shrine, this high school yearbook shrine, all this crap cut out, pictures. It's like psychotic stuff. It's like stuff from her past, like everybody she went to school with, and then like all their kids. And it's just like, this is creepy. She's got like heads cut out on different bodies, and it's just creepy shit. And then there's a girl up there. It's one of their classmates that they go to school with. Because Mom has taken her out of school. They didn't even realize, they never made the connection that girl was their, what's the girl's name? Jeannie. They never made the connection that Jeannie and Ma were mother and daughter. Jeannie was just a class, which is weird because like Maggie was like, oh, Jeannie, I go to school with you. I haven't seen you in a long time. It's like, didn't you just move to town? I mean, how long can it have been? We're only, like, in movie time, we're probably, like, a week or two in, so it's like, you just got here. It couldn't have been more than 3. I guess 3 weeks of sophomore year if somebody's missing is a long time, but still, it's like, I haven't seen you in years. And I've lived here 2.5 weeks. Although, in Maggie's defense, this is probably the most white people I've seen in a horror movie post-2016 in a long time. And it kind of makes sense because, like I've said all along, technically, all the white people are the bad guys. That being said, it does kind of allude to the fact that there's only like one black family in this whole town. So if you're in a classroom full of white people and there's only one black person, you would kind of notice one day if the black person was gone. Eventually you come to class and be like, didn't there used to be a black person in this class? It was just kind of weird because Maggie noticed her absence and Haley had no idea who she was. But Jeannie kind of helps them out. She's like, you guys should get out of here. But because Jeannie's all messed up because her mom is basically making her sick to protect her. She's giving her all these drugs she steals from work, making it so she can't walk, so she has to be bedridden, trapped in her room, but she can actually walk. And as a parent, I kind of get this. It's like you want to catch your kids instead of letting them fall. You don't want to let them learn the hard way. You want to protect them. But there's only so far you can go with that or else they don't grow. And then eventually you're not going to be around and they're not going to know what to do. It's hard to let go. But you definitely don't want to like, I'm just going to keep you in the house and you'll never go out. Like she's having parties in the basement and her daughter's upstairs drugged but can hear everything. So, hey, all right, go to sleep now. Meanwhile, the basement's just thumping. There's like 20 cars out in the yard because she lives like on an acre. Because she lives like on an acre. And it's all her class. It's like everybody I go to school with. I could be the most popular kid in school. You wouldn't have to protect me from anything. But instead you got me drugged in this room to protect me from all the kids that you're drugging and partying with in the basement. But eventually the jig's up and everybody turns on Ma. And that's when things get really bad. Ma doesn't kill that many people. She only kills like 3 people and they're all adults. And there is a scene, I thought I was going to get to add her to the dick chopper list. I was disappointed yet relieved. But that's where this movie gets kind of problematic because they reveal why Ma is the way she is. And this is where it turns into like, instead of we're against this evil weird lady, now we're attacking people with mental illness. And her mental illness is caused by the humiliation she suffered in front of the whole school while she was in high school. And that's why she's trying to get her revenge against the kids that she went to high school with. And just to wrap this up, because I didn't mean for this to be this long, she captures them all. She's got them in the basement. Maggie comes in to save them. She gets captured too. Her mom shows up with the guy that she works with. They come in. Jeannie takes out Ma, and there's like the stairs. Each step has candles on it. So Jeannie knocks her mom down the stairs into the basement. Basement catches on fire. The kids escape through the side hatch, but we go full Freddy Krueger at this point. At this point, this is Nightmare on Elm Street origin story. Mom wronged by these people, so she comes back for their kids. I want them to make a part 2 in like 10 years where it's Farkle and Maggie and all them, their kids getting attacked because Sue Ann returns after being burned alive in her house, and now she's going to kill a 3rd generation of the same families for her revenge.
Oh, hell no, hell no.
And I want her to return with like a hat and the claw and everything. Like that's your gift as soon as you get to hell. Then they spit her back on Earth, little Nicky style. I think that would be a good movie, but we can't do it too soon because enough time it won't make sense if we do it too soon. Unless, yeah, we'd have to wait more than 10 years. Like 20 years. Okay, in 20 years, because I was thinking, well, as long as Farkle's 25, we can do it, but that wouldn't work because if you had even if you had a kid sophomore year, the kid would only be like 9 or 10. Yeah, that could work. She could go after 10-year-olds. But that's assuming that everybody knocked each other up sophomore year. So that's a bit of a stretch. Unless they lived in my city.
Oh, shit.
I think that's all I have to say about it. And I did throw out a lot of spoilers. I also left out a lot of stuff on purpose in case you did get this far and haven't seen it and still want to go watch it. Go watch it. It's worth watching. And I don't know, I think part of the reason why I liked it is because I had no expectations going in. I didn't know what it was about. So sorry for ruining that for you. And if you have already seen it, I'd like to know your thoughts. And if you have not yet already subscribed to this channel, you should do it because it's October and that's my busy month, kind of, supposedly. All right, I will see you next time.